Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video with Dark. Today is going to be a different kind of video than what I've been bringing out recently of car vlogs and soda rivalries, which soda rivalries you guys have been killing it on, and I'm so happy. My one video has almost 160 views, and I'm so happy. Thank you guys for all the support. You guys help me, encourage me to continue making videos for you guys. Sorry this one's a little later being put out than I was hoping for. I kind of got a little sidetracked, but today is going to be like a story time video. I had this idea. I kind of stole it from the fellow YouTuber known as Markiplier. He's bigger than me, a lot bigger than me, so I decided to steal this video straight from him. So this video, by the title, the name of the title is going to be about pain. I'm telling you guys my worst pain I've ever felt so far in my life. I know I'm still pretty young, so I might have to make like a follow-up video on this way further in the future, or it might not be too far. I have no idea yet, but this is the worst pain I felt so far, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. So back when I was it was my going into my freshman year, so 2019, the summer of 2019, right before COVID hit. It's funny, my mom bought me a bucket of fried chicken, from KFC, of course, and I thought they were boneless wings, and they weren't. So I took it, bit into it, and I chipped one of my molars in my mouth. It was on this side, and well, I didn't think the chip was that bad. I mean, yes, of course it hurt. It just went to my nerve, and I didn't think it would have been too bad. I told my mom about it. My mom goes, "Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. It should heal itself." Which it it never did, apparently. But so I go through about my entire freshman year, high school, dealing with this pain, and I get to about the time I started making videos for you guys, and that's when COVID hit about a month later after I started my channel up. So me doing so, that's when the pain really started getting to me in my mouth. The chip in my tooth kept getting bigger and bigger to where it was like half of the entire face of the molar was completely torn apart, and I constantly was just complaining about pain. I constantly brushed my teeth, used mouthwash, floss, like 5 times a day, because it was the only thing that could get the pain to stop. I would be taking ibuprofen day after day after day, taking so much of it just to try and get the pain to stop, because it hurts so bad. And if you guys have ever had mouth pain, it's a lot worse than like anything else, because you kind of can't get the stuff. Like, let's say your leg starts to hurt, you can't just readjust your mouth to get the pain to stop. That's why it's so much different. So I get to about I would say it's the beginning of the summer, and I decided to go on a camping trip, and my tooth hasn't been hurting in a while. I've been taking ibuprofen. I've been taking a much bigger, they're like 800 milligram ibuprofen that are like prescripted from the doctors, and I got a prescription for it, and I was taking those, and I thought I'd be fine. But food and gunk, all the gunk from the food, if I don't brush it out soon enough, it will sit there, and it hurts so bad. I went on a camping trip. It was a 3-day camping trip, and my first 2 days being there was perfectly fine. I slept like a rock, but my last night I couldn't sleep at all because my mouth constantly hurt. And the tent I have, which you guys might see in a future video if I ever decide to go camping and bring it with me, but my mouth constantly hurt, so I was constantly drinking mouthwash and spitting it out the side of the tent, and it just hurt so bad to where my mom didn't even make me a dentist appointment, because I've never been to the dentist in my life till that point, and I technically haven't even been back since. But my friend's mom, because I was on Medicaid, because I'm not in the richest of families, we got a Medicaid dentist doctor who could help me with it, and we booked an appointment. I come in, and they look at where how deep this crack is. It took an MRI or like a mouth scan to where it could show the cartilage in your mouth and how far the bone goes in. It's more of an X-ray / MRI kind of in a way, to where it also shows my gums. And they scanned it, and this crack was like half of my tooth entirely now. Like half my tooth is gone. My nerve is showing. They actually said from the X-ray, because they gave me a copy of it, I don't have it anymore. The nerve was completely dead, but because it was so infected, it's now getting to this entire side of my mouth, and that's why it's hurting so bad. So what they did was, what happened was, it was a root canal infection, but it was horrible, and I could see the infection spreading from where the dead root was. I got back into the dentist about, I was scheduled to come back in about a month later, and no, about a month and a half later, so I could take antibiotics to get this infection gone so they can go in. So it goes about a month in, yeah, it was a month in, and we ran out of antibiotics about 3 weeks into this, and it did not kill the infection. The infection was so bad that it was still kicking, and it felt worse than it ever did. So I go ahead and I finish all the antibiotics. A week goes by, and I'm like, oh cool, maybe the infection is gone. I can't feel any pain, but the crack's still there. And all of a sudden the infection kicked back up, and it was the worst pain I have ever felt in my entire life. I constantly couldn't stop crying because of it, and I've only had one thing hurt so bad to where I constantly was crying, and it's when I bent my ankle bone so much to where it was so stressed it nearly snapped. It was slightly cracked, so it was a slight break, but it was so bent, it was insane. But that didn't even compare to what my mouth was feeling at this point. And nothing was working. I woke up, it was a Sunday morning, and I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. I didn't go to the church that I went to. I didn't go to there because I didn't want to go there and just crying my eyes out. And my hands were clenched so much because it hurt so bad. It didn't, and I was constantly brushing my teeth, I think for like 2 hours straight, and it didn't get to about like noon or whatever where the pain finally stopped, and I was able to like eat a sandwich real quick, and I was able to go to bed because I was super tired. And I woke up about 2-3 hours later to where my mouth hurt even worse than it did that morning, and I couldn't get it to stop. And my mom felt so bad because she didn't know what to do. And my mom called my friend's mom to see if we can get that dentist to get me in sooner because this wouldn't go away. The next day rolls by, and it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as it did the day before. And the dentist actually called me in. Actually, the dentist called my friend's mom, and my friends called me and saying, hey, your dentist just called us and they want to get you in tomorrow. What time do you want to go in tomorrow? And I was like, anytime, please. I get in, they start it, and root canal infection, like surgeries or whatever, take about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and you're not knocked out with anesthesia. You're just sitting there, but it's all numbed and everything so that you can't feel anything. I could still feel some stuff, like it still kind of hurt because they didn't numb the whole. I thought they were going to numb my whole mouth. They just numbed that one side, and the pain got to my upper part too. So it lasted about 4 hours, so about like double the time it was supposed to. And I get to a point where they finally finished, and they put a temporary crown in for my tooth because they were able to get like half of it done. So they put a temporary crown in, and they tell me to come back in a week, and we'll try and start getting your sizing for your new crown to come in. And that's when, like, it still hurt, like, a lot, but they were able to take out almost all the nerves to my tooth from this side, and that's why it took so long, was they were trying to get to a good spot where they could just drill everything out. At that point, about that week that I had before it, it didn't hurt so bad, but it was recovery pain, so I knew it was going to feel better here soon, and it's going to feel a lot better as we go along. After I go into the appointment and they get my crown fixed, because my teeth are weird and really wonky, so they had to special order it, and they just ordered like normal kind. It's not a gold tooth or a silver tooth because Medicaid don't cover any of that. I go in, they have to numb my whole mouth so then they can fit this crown in, and that took about an hour or whatever. And for like the next couple of days, because it wasn't in all the way, and I constantly had to keep biting down like to get it to fit all the way into my bite. But after that, I was pretty good, and now it's one of my stories that I actually like to tell people. And it's also the story where I'm like, you gotta make sure when you go get KFC, you can get boneless chicken, and you gotta make sure it's boneless and not bone-in, because I thought it was boneless chicken. But no, that is the probably the most pain I've ever felt in my life. And I do have some horrifying stories too. I got like some scary stories or some really funny stories. And if you guys want to hear another story time video, leave a like down below. If we get 10 likes, I'll post another story time. And next week or the week after, I'm coming out with my 100 subscriber special. Stay tuned to that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be lit. But that's all I have for you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.